It's Sunday, the Great Bead Extravaganza. Welcome everyone to the Bead Places live stream
presentation. Day 2, kick it off. Day 2 of the Great Bead Extravaganza. We're stoked. Are you stoked? I've had a little bit of coffee.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm Alex. This is Abby.
Hi.
We are the Bead Place and beadplace.net. Thank you all for joining us.
We did it.
We're so happy. And I'm so happy. She's so happy that I got the website correct. Thanks everybody though, seriously, for joining us. We do appreciate you. We're going to have some fun. Abby's going to teach you an awesome project here.
I'm going to try.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to do it.
And this kit is on our website right now. I'm about to drop that link right in chat for you all. Go check it out.
Sally says, ooh, Alex going I can't talk, incognito with the cool shades. Yeah. We have big lights, and he complains about them, so this is his solution. So. No, he just wants to look really cool for you guys. Really styling. Hey, look, we've started. Let's take that ticker off the screen.
Before we get started, though, make sure to like the video if you're on YouTube, heart it on Facebook, and share it with all of your beading friends. That would help us out a ton.
Yeah.
We love you. You're all beautiful people. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Let's talk about what we're doing today. We are making this kit. Are we on hand cam? Nope. This kit.
Count
this
one.
Kit. Hey, can you take the ticker off the screen?
I did.
Nope.
No, I did.
Did not.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. We are making this kit. Alex is dropping the link in chat right now. And we are doing a beautiful pair of lupine flower or lupin flower, depending on what part of the country you're from, how you pronounce it, how you spell it.
Do you want hand cam?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Hand cam, engage.
Let's get to it. So this is the kit, and we have some beautiful colors to choose from. This is the dandelion colorway.
Oh, man, the color is perfection today.
Crispy. Alex hasn't even had any coffee. He just is yelling naturally.
I'm just an excitable kind of guy.
This is the skeleton flower colorway. And I today am going to be showing you guys the strawberry colorway, but there's a lot of other beautiful colorways too, and some of them we're almost out of. So if you go put it in your cart and actually, I don't know.
Tell them about the deals.
Yeah, I should tell them about the deals.
There's deals to be had on our website.
So if you
can take advantage of.
If you use code TGBE20, you can receive 20% off the website all weekend and actually through most of next week. So that will give you a little bit more time to shop, make decisions. And then one thing that I want to share with you is that the code works on our bulk wholesale section of the website. So things that are already bulk discounted, that code will work in that section as well. That's something that we didn't used to do. Those were all like excluded from sales before, but we love you guys.
Sally Shade asked if we want to buy a strand of matching beads.
Okay, Sally, you will need to send us a message either through the website or through Facebook or stop in, and we can help you out with that. But some of the colors are sold out already. So message us the color that you want ASAP, and if we still have full strands of it, thank you. If we still have full strands of it, we can set aside for you, my friend. So let's get going. All right. Oh, Sally says, can you create a ticker with the code? I think we've got one already. You want to put a ticker up with the coupon code?
Is it accurate?
It should be. I think so. I can't see it.
All right, well, I'm just putting it up.
Yeah, you did.
All right, folks, there is a ticker on the bottom of the screen you are seeing, hopefully. And yeah, use code TGBE20 at beadplace.net to save 20%. Yeah. What a steal.
Thanks for that tip, Sally. We appreciate that.
Yeah, pro tip. I should have thought about that.
Before we get started, because I know I'll forget, I keep saying before we get started, let's get started. But no, one more thing, I think. we have a giveaway. You must be commenting live
here now
to enter. What you're gonna do is type "I want to win," and then that is your entry into winning one of our Bead Place monthly fun packs. So if you didn't know, we have a subscription pack that we do that we send out monthly, and it is like an inspiration pack that fits a theme. This one is, I think, what do we do? Spring break tropical vibes. So that was this one. And then we'll be posting inspiration project ideas in our Facebook group. And yeah.
If I type that in there, do I have a chance?
No.
But I want to win too.
I'll give you the hookup on the monthly fun pack.
Oh, sweet.
I know. You can be on our you can, oh my God. You can be on our stream when we make projects with it. Okay, so in your kit is 21 gauge sheet. This is also called flat wire when you get it cut to this size already. This is copper. It is not plated. It is raw copper, which is what we need for this project if we're wanting to do what we're going to do with it, which we are.
Otherwise, is it included in the pack?
It is. Oh, no, not the monthly fun pack. It's in the kit.
No, in the, when they buy it. All this is included.
Yeah.
All this is included. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, it's all being included in the kit. I'm a goofball. I'm sorry.
We need to get going.
All right, run it.
So this is 3 millimeters wide.
Do you have a special name for your Facebook group? Sorry,
It's just called the Bead Place Facebook group, and we might have a link to it that Alex can drop in the chat.
Or we might not.
I think we do. Maybe we don't. No, we don't. Alex can find it and drop it in the chat. Anyway, so this is 21 gauge, 3 millimeter wide sheet. What we're going to do, this is a foot of it. What we're going to do is cut it in half. So we have 2 6-inch pieces. Now, there are a number of ways that you can cut this in half, but when the wire is this small, my favorite way to cut it in half is to just use one of these heavy duty side cutters like this. You are not, under any circumstances, going to want to use your regular wire cutter. This is too heavy for this beautiful wire cutter. You're going to want to use a side cutter. If you don't have a side cutter, you can use a saw. You can get creative. You can, I don't know, just don't damage your good tools, okay? Let me remeasure because I got sidetracked.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to cut this in half.
Good morning, Kim. How are you?
Here we go.
Hi, Lisa. Karen.
All right. Now we are going to muscle through it. And you notice how I was grabbing both sides when I cut?
Memory wire cutter's good. Salad shape.
I probably would not use a memory wire cutter to cut flat sheet like this. Memory wire cutters are good for cutting thick gauge round wire and thin gauge steel, but they're not good for cutting flat stock like this. So I would recommend that you either use like a really heavy duty side cutter or something designed to cut sheet rather than a memory wire cutter. I know I always talk about using memory wire cutters to cut heavy duty stuff, but not for flat stock like this.
Dixie said, I don't think my hand is strong enough.
Oh, you got it. It's only 21 gauge. The reason why I don't want you guys to use your regular wire cutters is because it's wide, and it just, like, this guy isn't, I mean, it could cut through it, but this guy could get thrown off kilter a little bit on its blades, and then it wouldn't be
it's like a scissors that
good cutter.
Don't cut. Those are the worst.
Yeah. But then you just go to beadplace.net or go to the websites of any of the wonderful presenters this weekend and buy a new cutter. So do what you want. I mean, get the project done. So also in your kit, we have some 24 gauge wire here. This is also raw copper wire, not plated.
Yes, Allie, you can go to beadplace.net, and we do have the proper tools that you can purchase.
The proper tools. Alex, can you link those? I think I dropped the side cutter in the links for you. So also in the kit is, like I said, raw copper wire. This is round wire. It is 24 gauge. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. I didn't put the side cutter? Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. It's in there if you just want to go to the website and search side cutter. I'm just going to cut this in half while we're while we have the tape measure. So for this, I'm going to use my regular wire cutter. A good flush cutter will do the trick, and we're cutting that in half. And I'm going to set my other wires to the side.
All right, folks. Here is the link to the side cutter.
Good morning, everybody.
You can check that out. If you need one, go ahead and purchase. Is that 20% off as well?
It is.
Holy smokes.
I know. So what we're going to do now is we are going to use our fingers to just kind of straighten out this sheet. And if you have a nylon hammer, you could use that as well. But I like to do the majority of this with my hands to stop it from hardening inconsistently, if that makes sense. So as we're working this wire, we're actually doing something called work hardening. And sometimes when you hammer wire to harden it, hardening can just happen in certain spots wherever you're hammering it.
How long is the round copper wire 24 gauge?
Hold on one second. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our fingers, and we're going to kind of mush the wire like this to straighten it and to get it ready for working. That way we don't have inconsistent hard spots, which is like kind of going to be a detriment to getting a smooth round coil. Okay, sorry, what was your question, my friend?
We need to file edges and...
Yeah, but I'm going to show you just a trick.
How long will the round copper wire 24 gauge?
It's a foot. And I'm going to show you a trick that we're going to do with this wire so that we get a nice edge. All right, so
we're off to the races. Off like a herd of turtles.
I'm going to use my side cutter to make sure that both of my ends are as square as I can get them. Now I'm going to cover with my hand so that I don't have any eye injuries.
What about using the nylon jaw pliers?
You could do that too, but I just like using my hands. So here's my little trick that I'm going to show you guys so that you're not going to have to do so much filing. So before we hammer, what we're going to do is we're going to prep the corners. So I've got my side cutter here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off those sharp corners with my side cutter. And it kind of rounds it out a little bit, and it's going to make it so that when we go in and hammer it,
hi, Tina,
it creates this beautiful little paddle. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing, and if you can't, I'll show you what it looks like with a close-up. So see how I've just kind of trimmed those corners off? Alex, can they see that?
Heck yeah, they can.
Awesome, good deal. All right, so I've gotten that one nice and smooth, and now that I've done this one, I'm actually going to go ahead and do my other one as well. So I like to work kind of symmetrically, if that makes sense. That way, while you've got all those tools out, you are not having to get it out again. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say you're not on camera when you're cutting. But
oh, my
I don't
bad.
know if that matters.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Also to make weird noises in the background to fill the dead space. Okay.
White noise machine. I was told to not interrupt the woman while she's working. I'll stay quiet.
Who said that? I like whoever said that. That's funny.
Wanda Hansen. And I didn't want to say it while you were working, otherwise I'd be interrupting you again. So.
No, we Alex does a great job at like making sure that nobody's comments get missed, or at least as best as we can. But we always, whenever we're showing a project live, we always get like a ton of questions immediately, and then it kind of tapers off.
Just my morning noises, that's all, you know.
Okay, so this is gonna be terrible for you guys if you have headphones in. Mute. So what I'm gonna recommend you do is go somewhere where you're not wearing headphones, or be watching me when I'm hammering to turn the volume down. So what we're gonna do now that we've prepped those corners, we are going to
hammer time.
We are going to hammer the wire. So we've straightened it, we've gotten any of the kinks out. We've prepped the corners. Now we're going to hammer. So I am using a ball peen side of my chasing hammer. Alex is going to link the chasing hammer in chat if you don't already have one. If you don't have a hammer and you still want to do this project, no worries, because when we move on to a couple steps from now, I'm going to show you a trick to make it look like you've hammered your copper without a hammer.
Is there 20% off on that hammer today?
There is.
Oh my goodness.
So
the steals and deals over at Bead.
What we're going to do is we're going to lightly hammer this project. We don't want it to be a heavily hammered look. We want it lightly hammered just so that it looks a little rustic. So notice how I'm grabbing that kind of ball end of my hammer. I'm not holding it way up here. I'm holding it at the ball end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is kind of loose in my hand. You can see that this is kind of wiggling around.
This video also doubles as a how to hammer guide.
It does not, but I'm giving you my favorite tips for hammering to make sure that your wrists don't hurt later. If you've got a dead grip on this, you're going to have a sore wrist later. So make sure you've got a little bit of movement in here. It's a little bit wobbly, like, you know, that trick that you can do with the stick to make it look like it's
all right. Come on, they want a hammer.
Okay,
they've all muted us anyway.
So, we're gonna just gently hammer the edges of the wire. Oh my gosh, there we go. We're gonna gently hammer the edges of the wire.
We got it.
So you can see I've got those corners. I'm not necessarily hitting the middle. I'm just getting kind of the corners.
Oh my gosh, great instruction on getting hammer. It says Nancy Birdsong Palmer. I make sure urgent care is open when I cut out the hammer.
There you go. So we're hammering all the way along the wire, but just lightly. You should hear that nice, like, terrible noise in your ears that vibrates. We don't want it to hold the hammer. We don't want the hammer to, like, stay down. We want it bouncing up and down.
Good morning, Sue. How are you?
All right, now that we've gotten a little bit over halfway, we're going to turn the wire around. That way I don't hammer my fingers. All right, and now what we're going to do is flip over to this side, the chasing hammer side, and we're going to gently hammer the ends of the wire. And that's just going to flatten out that paddle a little bit, so it'll look a little bit more smooth.
Are you just hammering the edges?
Yeah, just the edges. You can see that my wire is starting to curve up a little bit, and that's okay. That's kind of what should be happening. That way we don't get the corner of the bench block digging into the back of our wire.
Just listening to the lovely sound of hammer first thing in the morning.
All right. Hopefully you guys can hear us over the hammering, but I'm just going to kind of show you what it should look like now. So it's slightly paddled, but still pretty much the same size as the wire next to it. We just kind of want a gentle bone shape. Now what I'm going to do, just for fun, is I'm going to use my chasing hammer side, and I'm just going to kind of very lightly hammer across the whole thing right in the middle, and then flip and do the other side.
I'm going to try and see if I can.
But lightly, guys. That way we're not hardening the wire too much. I pinned it already.
No, I'm in the comment.
Oh, okay. All right. So now that we've done one, we're going to do the other one while we have the hammer out. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're good. We're good. All right. So I'm going to pick the side that I like the best. And we're just going to hammer the edges of the wire. And the reason why I do that, guys.
Jonalyn.
What?
Her grandson's watching and loves the hammering.
Oh, that's sweet. The reason why I just do the edges on this project, guys, is because it's going to interfere a little bit less with the core of the wire, if that makes sense. So it's going to remain a little bit softer as we go. And also, you're going to see it more if it's on the edges versus the middle of the wire. So it's going to look like you've got way more texture without having to go super heavy-handed with your hammering. It's a little bit more light reflectance that way. And also, I just like it that way. So that's the way I'm doing it.
I'm posting the link to the kit. Again, I don't know how to pin it. I don't think I can do it from my personal Facebook. So
we're kind of using we're using StreamYard, which is our streaming service that we operate from, and so it allows us to kind of moderate multiple streams, but it doesn't give us those minute options that we would have if we were streaming directly on Facebook without having to like get out of it and get back in, which we don't want to do.
Oh, here, I can't. I lied.
Okay,
it's pinned on our Facebook, but not on the Great Bead Extravaganza.
So see how much light reflection we get from just hammering those edges. It looks like I've hammered a whole lot when I just am concentrating on the edges. Okay, now I'm going to go back in and paddle the ends with the chasing hammer side. And remember, we're hammering super lightly, otherwise you're going to be sorry later. And then just down the middle for good measure, just to give a more organic look. So,
hi Sharon, how are you this morning?
The reason why I keep saying hammer lightly is because, like I said before, when we hammer it, it hardens it. And we want it to remain soft so that we can work it with our hands. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to compare these two wires. We're going to make sure they have about the same amount of light reflectant properties. We're going to make sure that there aren't any spots that we missed. And then we're going to look at the size of the paddles on the ends. So we want to compare the size of these little tips to make sure they're about the same size. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to just rub our thumb gently on the tip. If there's any scratchy spots, we can take our file, and Alex is going to link the files, but mine looks pretty good. I feel like I got lucky this time. But let's pretend there was a sharp spot. Let me find.
Just make one.
Yeah, let me find something. Here we go.
All right, so here's the file, everybody.
Let's say
20% off.
That burr that's kind of at the top. Let's say that burr was sharp. What you can do is use the tip of a cutter and just very carefully kind of scratch it off. So you can kind of shave off any of those burrs with your cutter. Just please do this very, very carefully to make sure that you are not going to injure yourself or slip at all. The safest way, of course, is to file, but if you've got a big burr and you don't want to be filing forever, you can use that little trick.
Video quality in tight is great. Instructions are incredibly clear. Kudos. I can't talk, but that's okay.
That's so sweet. I'm going to take a coffee break for just a second. Okay.
And does that not dull the cutters?
I mean, it does, but not as bad as using the cutters on metal that it shouldn't be used on.
Could you use a sharp X-Acto knife?
Depends on how. No, honestly, I wouldn't, because X-Acto knives are thin and you want some durability there so that you're not gonna break it. It's all about like tiny versus tiny and like where your impact points are. I mean, you might be able to, but I just want to really make sure you guys are being safe with this.
Kristen, that's the way that you enter to win our giveaway. You say, I want to win.
Yeah, and then you get entered to win our monthly fun pack.
Yes.
Another tip that I can share with you, rather than going to grab my file over there, I'm just going to show you real quick, pretending this is a file. So I'm going to file like this, and this is going to take me forever. But what you can do is put your file down on the bench block and just kind of scrape your ends across it. And that's going to be a little bit more ergonomic. You're going to be less likely to jab the file into your fingers. And then it's quick, easy, and you're done. Ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so next step.
And if you need to purchase a bench block, well, guess what? We've got them at beadplace.net, 20% off for today's stream.
We do. All right. So we are going to grab our round nose pliers. Make sure you're using your regular round nose pliers. You are not going to use your extra fine tip elongated Lindstrom. You are not going to use anything that is designed for micro wire wrapping. You're just going to use these good old jewelry making pliers here with that tight barrel that ends at about a 1.5 millimeter. The reason being the reason being is this is heavy hard wire and we don't want to pull these pliers out of whack.
So, do we have thicker bench blocks?
Nope, this is the biggest one that we carry.
Chunkiest boy.
Maybe check with Beaducation. They might
You made it hard to choose just one color of project. Gorgeous color choices.
Oh, thank you. We tried.
You buy them all.
My inspiration was I picked check glass cruller colors that matched with flowers that I was really into. And I recently found out about something called a skeleton flower, and they're clear. And so I was like, okay, there's my excuse to enter clear into the colorway. Okay, so we have our round nose pliers, and we are going to grab one of our loops or one of our wires, and we're going to make a loop. And I'm going to get really close to you guys, and I'm going to whisper in your ear. No, that's creepy. I'm going to stop.
This isn't ASMR.
What we're going to do
I will leave.
I have the hammered part facing me. I have my pliers holding the wire about 4 millimeters back. And I am going to just start a curve.
Yeah. Hashtag I want to win.
I'm going to angle my wire now, starting towards my hand. So you can see that it's angling towards my hand. And we're going to start this curve. And we're just going to kind of...
Down a little bit.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Off camera.
We're going to start...
Getting off camera.
I am trying to turn it. So we're going to start manipulating the sheet so that we're angling towards your hand. And we're going to just do maybe one or two little... Oh, there we are. We're going to do one or two little passes around.
You don't need the hashtag in front of the words. It's just...
We're going to use a comment generator. Or not a comment generator.
Yeah, actually, Stacy, if you want to just put I want to win with no hashtag, then you'll be good.
We're going to... Just anybody who's got the word.
All I do is win.
Okay,
win.
So we started this way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mirror the other one.
Thank you, Kristen.
So because we went this way on this one, we're going to go the other way on this one. And so the easiest way for my brain to make that happen, instead of like trying to do it left-handed, here's my trick. Instead of starting at the top of the wire now, I'm going to start at the bottom of the wire.
Start from the bottom down here.
So now we're this way instead of this way. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to curl it, and we're going to make sure that we're mirroring. So I'm going to hold this one up while we're doing this, so that it is hopefully easy for you guys to see that we're mirroring. And Alex, I'm going to have you watch me really close to make sure I'm staying on screen.
You're on screen currently.
Awesome. So you can see now that these are mirrored. They're going in opposite directions. And so that way, as we start to make our lupine cones, they'll end up mirrored like this. That way you guys don't have to like work with your hands backwards or pretend that you're a left-handed person rather than a right-handed person, or vice versa. That's just my little trick to my brain to make it make sense. Okay, so now that we have them started, we're going to set one aside and we're going to continue working with one. Okay, that was like the part that I was most nervous about.
You did it. Let's give her a round of applause.
I was like, I bet you anything that I am going to like do them both the same direction.
Smash that like button. Show some support by smashing that like button.
Okay, Coffee break again.
Coffee break.
Okay. I'm going to turn into my page 2 of my notes because I've got a note like in my project to tell Alex to go run hot water in the bathroom for when we do liver of sulfur later. So I need to like stay on track with my notes. Thank you. I appreciate all the hearts, everyone. Okay. We can do it. Okay.
You can do it.
Now what we're going to do is we are going to start to make our cap or our cone. And how we're doing that is we're just basically working this wire so that every time we come around, we are slightly overlapping the wire ahead of it that we have just done. So you can see we're almost using the round nose pliers as like a mandrel, except we're keeping it looser than that. And so let's say you don't have a hammer and you didn't get to do that fun hammered step last time. What you're going to do each time you do this is you're going to squeeze with all your might and like give it heck. And let's say you don't have much hand strength. That's okay. I'm going to show you a trick for how to do this without hand strength. So Alex, if you could switch back to us cam for just a second, I just want to show them kind of a more accessible way to do this if you don't have the ability to do it with your hands. So are we on body cam?
Yep.
Okay. Cam. Watch this, guys. Oh, can you move the ticker for just a second? Otherwise, we're going to have to move the camera. Oh, we're too low anyway. Okay, I'm going to move this over and I'm going to pretend like this is the tabletop. Pretend like this is the tabletop, guys. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold it in your hand like this, and you're going to get like a towel or a pad or a bead mat or something, and you're going to put it right here at your handle on your pliers so you don't end up hurting your hand. You're going to pad that, and you're going to use your hip, and you're going to press like this. You're going to rotate it, and you're going to press. So we really try to come up with alternative ways to do things, whether you don't have the tools or whether you don't have the physical ability to do things the contemporary or the traditional way. We try to think of more contemporary ways to get the project done if you don't have
Vivian,
what we're showing you. So
oh no,
you squeeze and squeeze and give it heck as you go if you don't want to hammer or if you don't have access to those tools.
Loving the earrings, great instructions, and hearing the why. Yeah.
Well, thanks.
She does an excellent job of explaining. I feel like I can almost do this, and I am.
Totally. All right.
Not good.
So here's what we've got so far. We're creating this really cool
we're
coil.
Still on the...
Oh no.
All right. It's fine.
Sorry.
No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul.
This is what we've got so far. We're coiling.
Look at that.
And
Beautiful.
You can make it really even. You can put a lot of time into it and make it so that it looks like super geometric and like I don't know, like it's even. Or you can just kind of wing it. And
Abby does rule. I agree, Marianne.
Aw, thanks. All right, so now we've got this little thing here.
I don't know
like,
about that, Shakira.
This is so hard at the end that we can't push it down the way we normally could. So what we're going to do is we're going to work from this end now and go that way rather than this end going that way. So 2 tricks that I can share with you. The first thing is I'm going to use the back part of my pliers and I'm going to just kind of round
it up
like that so that it's going to kind of match that curve at the bottom. The second thing that I can share with you if you don't have the hand strength to do that is we're going to back up and use our bench block again. So we're basically just going to kind of hold this and just kind of mush it where it needs to go. And you can use your body weight if you need to push it. A lot of times as new jewelry makers, we don't have the hand strength, or if you have any, what am I trying to say? If you have anything where you don't have the dexterity to be able to hold your pliers so tight like that, that's kind of a trick that I share with my students in class. You can actually use different parts of the table or your bench block or anything to just get the job done. So let me come close again and whisper in your ear once again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start manipulating. And if it's easier for you to switch and use your chain nose pliers at this point to just kind of push things where they need to go for it. And we have this cute little cap. Now, what I'm going to do before we do any more work on this, before we do any fixing, is we're going to do the other one. We have to do the other one before we know if we're good with this one. Because the goal, for me anyway, is to get them to kind of match. And so if they don't kind of match, then we've got a little bit of a problem. So while I do this, we're going to take some time to answer questions. Although I'm going to try to do this quick.
Shakita McDonald suggested I make a project, and I said nobody wants to see that.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
No. Thanks for sharing this wonderful tip. Work smarter, not harder. I really appreciate it. Oh, Abby, you're awesome. I have no sound, but can totally understand what I need to do by watching you.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
Even on mute.
Yay.
Yeah, you're way off screen, by the way.
That's okay. We're just fielding questions at this point. I'm working quickly through this so that we can move on to the next step. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. All right. So
I love the tips and lack of strength techniques. Since I work with special needs children, I'm always thinking outside the box.
Well, we think it's important for everybody to be able to do as much as they want to do.
Heck yeah.
And so, although
eating is for everyone,
DIY can be one of those things where, like, you know, sometimes people feel left out if they don't have the physical abilities to do things. There's always a workaround. So
I'm loving it. I've learned this and wondering if you could be used for the Kumihimo end caps too.
Yes. So glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yes. So back when Viking knit was like the hot thing. I can't even remember what year that was, but it was like everybody was showing Viking knit in Tucson. Everybody was showing Viking knit at Bead and Button. Everybody was showing Viking knit at Bead Fest. All the bead stores were having a hard time getting caps in that would fit the Viking knit that you do with 24 and 26 gauge wire, and then run it through to like a 4 mil on the draw plate, because they fit the Pandora beads.
Yeah.
And Pandora beads were so hot too at that point in time. So everybody was having the hardest time getting caps in because everybody was making them. So we had a lot of fun developing different ways to create cones and caps. And so we used, I think, 20 gauge wire and just straight up used our round nose pliers as a mandrel to create a wrapped cone. And with round wire, you don't have to overlap like this. You can just wrap it tight. By the way. Oh, sorry.
Nancy says, OMG, your shirt, Abby, a cat person. Yeah, we're cat people for sure. I just dropped the link again. If you want to buy the kit, it is on sale. We've got some colors, some flavors.
We've got a few different flavors.
We got a few different flavors left.
I haven't gotten a notification on my phone yet that any of the colors have sold out, which I'm shocked, because there were a couple of colors that were like really close to selling out. So anyway, now that I've gotten 2 of my caps done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust them so that they're pretty symmetrical. You can make them perfectly symmetrical if you want, or not so symmetrical. And so how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to use my chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to kind of push and pull things and just kind of tighten the little creases between, or loosen them, whatever I need to do to make sure that they look kind of uniform, at least the same general size. Okay, so what we're going to do now is...
You two make a great team. We try.
Oh, thanks. What we're going to do now is we're going to set this aside, and we're going to create a monkey's fist knot with our other wire. So we're going to get our 24 gauge wire and we're going to do a time check. Okay, we're good.
Time check presented by.
We're going to get our 24 gauge wire, which we've already cut in half. So we've got about 6 inches of 24 gauge wire here. We're going to create a decorative head pin with this. So we've got our round nose pliers. We are going to grab the very, very end of our round nose pliers, about maybe 3 to 4 millimeters back on a standard kind of, you know, catch-all round nose pliers. So we're going to make a loop, and we're going to make sure that that loop would fit 3 of our 24 gauge wires through it. So we're just eyeballing it here, but we've given you a lot of extra wire in case it doesn't work. So we're going to now that we've checked to make sure that about 3 of these wires would fit through okay, what we're going to do is we're going to continue wrapping the wire around until we've got 3 coils. And so it's going to look like that. And I hope you guys can see that because this is tiny stuff. Alex, can they see that?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to tighten my coils if they're a little bit loose just by gently pressing with my chain nose pliers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end of my round nose pliers, or not the end of my round nose pliers, the end of my wire, and I'm going to put it through that loop starting from the tail end. So this is what I've got. So my tail end is facing you, and I started with the wire facing you, and now it's going through facing me. And now I'm going to pull it tight with my chain nose pliers. And so we get this weird little, come on, focus. There we go. Let me put my finger behind it. We get this weird little loop through there, which is our goal. Now we're going to repeat that, and we're going to make sure that that tail end goes through so that it creates a coil. So make sure you're going through in the correct direction. So once again, we're going to pull that through.
Good morning, Judy.
And we're going to pull it tight again.
Back up a bit, please. Someone's asking.
Yep. So I'm going to bring it close just so you guys can see.
You said 24 gauge yet?
Yep, 24.
Yes. Hello, Athena.
And then we're going to go through one more time.
I'm sorry. I don't read so good.
And then we've got, well, I'm putting it through so that I can show them, but thank you. So
double knotted head pin, question mark? What?
Yep. So now we've got a cute little knot. And so I tried to, I know.
Okay.
I tried to do this one kind of big so that you guys could see it. But generally I like to pull them just a little bit tighter. So hopefully you guys can see that. And so at this point, what I'm going to have Alex do while I do the other one is go run some hot water and fill the cup up to that fill line, please. So Alex at this point is getting ready to get our liver of sulfur going. So Linda asks, pull the wire through in the same direction? Yes, pull the wire through in the same direction. And I'm going to show you guys one more time here. So this time I'm going to do it a little bit quicker so you can see how easy this process is. And I'm going to try to keep it on camera, but Alex isn't here to tell me that I've wandered off cam. So we've got a coil of 3. Now we're going to take it through from the tail end to the end where we're working now. All right, and we're going to use our chain nose pliers to pull it tight. Try to pull it pretty tight. We're going to go through again. I just heard Alex yell, ow. So hopefully he
hurt myself.
Oh. Is it hot? Is the water hot?
Warm.
No, it's got to be hot. Go do it again, please. All right, so now we're gonna pull through again. And then one more time. So each time we've got a loop of, or a coil of 3. And then you can straighten it with your pliers after the fact if you need to. You can kind of squish it to wherever it needs to go. But then we've got this really cool little knot. Put my hand behind it so you can see. I don't know if it's going to focus because it's so tiny. Oh, well. So we've got this really cool little knot that is going to look even cooler when we oxidize it. So Alex is going to be arriving in just a second with hot water. So you don't have to use hot water for what we're about to do next, but I recommend it for the ease and the quickness. So Colleen says if you use your nylon plier, it protects your wire, makes it easy to pull. And although that is a fantastic trick in most cases, and I appreciate you sharing that with us, I do want to let you know that sometimes the wire will slip through your nylon pliers. So I prefer to just use my chain nose pliers and put just like a little hook on the end of it. And then this part of our wire gets cut off anyway. So this nasty chemical that I'm about to use is liver of sulfur gel. And Alex is linking that in chat as we speak. And so I'm just going to put just the tiniest drop in here. I'm going to try to. There we go. And this is going to stink. Right. So work in a well-ventilated area.
There it goes.
All right, I'm going to swirl this a bit.
Have you tried Christie's advanced line on your metals?
Yeah, the Christie's like patina should work on this as well. I love Swelligant and all her different products. We carry them here in the store also. I like using good old-fashioned liver of sulfur for this kind of stuff just because copper is hardy. I like using Swelligant on things that have like a Swelligant coating on it because it's a little bit more gentle and a little bit more controlled. Okay, so this terrible stinky liquid is liver of sulfur. And we are going to do this all at once just so there's no waste. So that's why we didn't oxidize this first and then go in and oxidize this later. Okay, let me check my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. I said work in a well-ventilated area. Try not to get this on your fingers, although it's not really going to do
She means the nylon pliers rest up against the coils and hold it in place.
Oh, I don't know that I would love doing that.
Thanks,
because
Debbie.
I wouldn't want to squish it, but I might not understand what you guys are saying. But I appreciate you guys sharing tips. Because that's an awesome way to learn from each other. Okay, so we've got the liver of sulfur. Thank you, Alex. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of a curl in these guys so that they're easier to pick up when I drop them in. And I'm going to drop them in. And same with those. And I'm going to let them sit for a minute. And I'm going to...
Looks like lemonade.
You want to try some?
Probably not.
Yeah, no, don't drink it. Gonna let it sit for a minute, and then I wish you guys could see this. I can't like tip it.
Karen said it. I can smell it from here.
Oh yeah, it's nasty. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for a minute. I'm gonna grab my tweezers that I didn't grab. Alex is gonna drink liver of sulfur on stream for you guys. And I'll be right back because I forgot my tweezers.
Hello everybody, thanks for joining us. The Great Bead Extravaganza. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and shout out to all the other amazing presenters on the Great Bead Extravaganza. Again, this kit today you can find at beadplace.net. 20% off everything if you use a coupon code. The coupon code's right down there on that little ticker. We love you. You're all beautiful. Thank you so much. And Abby's back, so I don't have to stall for time anymore.
Thank you. All right, so my favorite way of doing this is to just do it in the bathroom where I've got the exhaust fan running.
Becca said, don't sniff. Listen,
so,
you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it.
So I like to do this in the bathroom where I've got the exhaust fan running because this stuff does stink. And then also I'm next to a sink. so that I can just quickly rinse off and dry and all that.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
Oh, all right. So I'm going to pull this out.
Why are you using that thingy?
Because I don't want to get liver sulfur in the box joints of my pliers, and I don't want to stick my fingers in it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to swirl this off in some clean water, and I'm going to show you. It's black now. Isn't that cool?
That's brutal.
You're like, wait a minute, I thought it was antiqued copper. Well, we're going to do that with the next step. So hang tight for just a minute and ooh and ah over this chemical reaction with me. So we're rinsing one by one, and I like to swirl because sometimes that nasty liver sulfur can get caught in the nooks and crannies. And this tool that I'm using here is just a cross-locking tweezers. That's not necessary. I just like to pretend I'm fancy when I'm on camera with you guys.
It is
so
magic.
I swirl.
I know a thing or two about magic.
And then what we're going to do with this liver sulfur is we're going to sit it right in the middle of your house to stink up the whole house until it neutralizes. No, you can keep it in like... Is
that just water? In that
this?
Tub?
Yeah, this is just clean water. I'm just swirling it.
It's not clean now.
No, it's not. But
you're a wizard, Abby.
Hey, thanks. What we're going to do is we're going to wait till the liver sulfur turns clear before we dump it down the drain. That's because we don't want it to oxidize and stink up your drain. It probably wouldn't cause an issue, but you just don't want to do it. So, Alex, if you could
If you got a neighbor you don't like, you can just, put it right in a garage or something.
Or if you have a neighbor that you do like, you wait for it to neutralize and just in the bathroom with the exhaust fan on so it doesn't stink up the yarn. So if you have a neighbor that you do like, you can dump it on their garden after it neutralizes, and the sulfur is great for lots of plants. So tomatoes love sulfur water. All right, dry. I'm going to kind of shake all the ick out and pat dry. I'm going to straighten these guys out again. And now what we're going to do.
Time check 11:22.
Awesome. Yeah, I just looked. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clean them. So we are going to use whatever you like to use to clean your jewelry, but I prefer using our buffing pads here. And Alex is going to link those in chat as well. I think they're on the link list.
Pads, I think they are polish pads.
Yeah. So what's cool about these guys is that it is a
polish
micro
pads.
Buffer as well as a polisher. So oh, that's a great tip. The comment just disappeared, so I don't know who put it, but somebody was talking about baking soda. Alex, can you pin that comment?
I can't.
Where'd it go?
No, I mean, I can't do it even if I knew where it was.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Okay. Well, somebody said something about baking soda, and I'm so sorry the comment is already off the screen. But if you could find it and
Can you neutralize it by adding baking soda?
You can.
I can put it
that
on
is
screen.
a fantastic tip. So adding baking soda to your liver of sulfur will neutralize it. I just don't like to do that because I like to dump it on plants. And it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't take that long to neutralize. Usually it's just a day. But if you have like tight quarters where you're working and you don't want to have it stinky forever in a day, you can definitely neutralize it by adding baking soda. So that was a great comment. And thank you to whoever commented that.
Liz.
Thank you so much, Liz. That's awesome. Okay, so we are using these buffing pads, these micro polish pads or pro polish pads, whatever you like to call them. And we are just kind of highlighting and polishing. So you're going to notice that that oxidation kind of stays in those recessed hammered areas. And that's cool. So we're just doing kind of a general overall polishing
coral
of everything on the cone. Now, when we go to polish the monkey's fist knot pieces, we're going to be pretty intentional about how we do that. And I'm going to tell you why when we get to that step. So if you're working along with me, don't work ahead because I have a trick for you. Colleen says, can you use steel wool then polish? Yeah, totally. I think that this is such fine work that it doesn't need it. such small detail. But if you want that kind of like burnished look, go for it. And then if you don't want that burnished look and you want to use the steel wool just to get the bulk of it off, what you can do is you can just polish it for a long time. So Debbie's saying, I clean my piece afterwards with water and baking soda. Yep, that is a great tip as well. With this, since we're kind of removing the bulk of it, not entirely necessary, but for larger scale pieces, that is a great tip. All right. So, I can't see who left the original comments, but somebody said, any non-stinky way to patina this? Yes. The Swelligant line would be a great way to do this, or you can just kind of do the boiled egg trick, but that can kind of get a little stinky too. I don't know the exact details of the boiled egg trick, but I think it's like you put it in a container with a hot hard-boiled egg.
Do those polishing pads work better than a polishing cloth for earrings that have oxidized, or can you recommend what is best?
So this is actually a micro buffer. I know it's not like a file, but it is going to kind of remove the top layer of the metal. So if you're using plated products, I would not recommend this for you. But it will do a very fast job because it does remove the top layer. And I know you guys are probably thinking, how is that a buffer? Because it's a piece of foam, but the foam, it's like a micro abrasive, kind of like a magic eraser.
Good afternoon, Lois.
I don't know if any of you have accidentally ruined something with a magic eraser, but I have. All right. We have filthy fingers, but beautiful cones. Okay.
That should be put on a shirt.
All right. What we're going to do is we are going to polish the very bottom of our monkey's fist knots, but we're not going to go above where our bead is going to sit. Now I'm going to kind of remind you guys to work gently with this wire because it's 24 gauge and we've already put it through a lot. At this point in time, it might be a little brittle, especially if you've kind of marred it with your pliers, or if you bend it back and forth a lot, it might be a little brittle. So don't overwork it at this point. Now, if you have limited dexterity, if you have trouble with your fingers, one thing that we can do at this point in time, if you promise me that you'll be very careful, we can put it in our pliers like this to brace it and then do this. So that's a great tip for people who are needing to polish something very tiny, but you don't want to hold it so tight like that. But you have to be very careful. Don't squeeze tight with your pliers because you might end up popping that little monkey's fist knot right off. So this is what we have so far. Isn't that cool? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to polish up to where the bead sits. Otherwise, if you have a transparent bead, you would have kind of like a shrimp line running through the bead, and we don't want that. So we're going to polish that. Again, please be careful as to not wiggle that monkey's fist knot back and forth and break it right off. Alrighty, so we are going to continue this on the other one. How are we doing on time, Alexander?
29, 11:29.
Oh no! All right.
How much time have we got left?
We got 1 minute.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
It's okay. We can go a little bit over because guess what we did for you guys? We built in longer breaks, so we can go just a smidge over.
Does that come off your hands easily?
Yeah, it's fine. Just wash with soap and water, or that.
What are you using to polish with?
A buffing pad or a pro polish pad.
We have them.
We have them. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is just make an earring. Some of you guys have done this before. We're gonna string a bead on.
Here's the polishing pad.
I'm gonna do this real quick. We're gonna string a bead on, We're going to string your cone on. I'm only going to do one of these for you guys. Let's do the other one. It's got a tighter top.
There's the link to the kit, folks. And remember, 20% off beadplace.net right now if you use the coupon code TGBE20.
Oh, that's so cute.
At checkout.
Okay, so we're going to make our wrap loop, but we're going to do our wrap loop just a little bit differently. We're going to start it out the same. We're going to do a right angle bend with our chain nose pliers. We're going to switch to our round nose pliers, but instead of doing one loop, we're going to do 3 loops just to bulk it up a little bit and to add visual interest. So we've gone around. We're going to go around again. And move your pliers.
Love the kit. Just got mine. Hey, thank you, Rosie.
Cool. Thank you. We
Wonderful
really appreciate your
Gracie.
support. It's a tough time to be a small business right now, so these events are always just like truly life-changing for us. So we definitely appreciate the support.
Yes, we do. Wonderful tutorial and presentation. So knowledgeable. Thank you, Abby.
So that's what we've got so far. Thank you. And we are going to then wrap.
Do you seal the copper with anything?
I don't, because I love when it gets like dirty looking and gross. But if you want to, you certainly can. There are lots of products to seal, like Ren Wax, or there's spray coats even. So we're just wrapping down, and then what we're going to do is use that tail end of the wire to wrap back up just to give it a little bit more bulk. And please remember, guys, to sign up for the Great Bead Extravaganza's giveaway, like the event giveaway. Candy Cooper has posted a link in the Great Bead Extravaganza's group and on our page. Please only use the official giveaway sign up link. Nobody will message you asking you for the link. So look how fun. Oh, focus please. Focus please. Look how fun that bulky loop is. So we're just going to trim the tail end off.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Trim the tail end off. Alex, while I am trimming this and going to put the ear wire on, can you drop the link to the kit one more time for our friends in chat?
Yeah. Go check the link out. I mean, the kit out via the link.
What we're going to do is we're going to take our beautiful Bally style copper ear wire. We're going to open it slightly. We're going to drop our earring into it. We're going to close it. We're going to straighten everything out that we just bent while trying to be on camera. And then we've got a cute little lupine earring after we do the other one, but we ran out of time. So I'm going to show you what they look like finished. Look how cute they are.
Look at them.
Yay, gorgeous. We did it.
Face cam. Hey, thanks everybody. We appreciate you.
Filthy fingers. Are we on face cam?
Yes.
Okay, hi. The filthy fingers. So then go wash your hands and then wash your projects too, because you want to make sure they're clean and sparkly.
Sparkle.
Oh. And then the last step after you do that wrap loop, before you put the ear wire on, is to polish that closed wrap loop that you did with the micro buffer. We don't do that first before we wrap it because we want the details to stay dark and oxidized. But then we highlight it after the fact.
Everybody, smash the like or heart button for Abby. She did an excellent job.
Thank you. And for Alex and for everybody else who participates in this weekend, and for you guys as well, because we would not be here without you.
Absolutely.
Remember, sign up for the giveaway. Make sure to spread the love to everybody who is participating this weekend. Be kind to everybody. Be patient with us. We appreciate you so much. Make sure to check out the rest of the presentations the rest of the day. Heather Powers is on with Humble Beads at noon Central. Check the schedules, because keep in mind we've got those extra breaks in there, so our schedules are a little bit different. Wendy says wash them with what? I just do soap and water. Make sure to not oxidize your beads, because some of them have metallic coatings.
Also,
if you don't dip those in liver of sulfur.
Also, if you like projects like this, Abby has a YouTube channel.
I do.
Over 50,000 subscribers over there. Hundreds of videos, all free. And if you enjoy this kind of stuff and you like us, head on over to our Facebook page. We do live streams every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. I'm getting spat on now. It's time to go. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure to definitely spread the love to Lisa from Bead Education, because she's our guest presenter this time. And she is later today. Terry says, can you use a magic eraser? No, I wouldn't, because that has cleaning chemicals on it that I just don't think would be good for your hands. Or
and remember,
I would use the buffing pads.
One more time, there's the kit. Thanks, everybody. 20% off. Use the code
TGBE20.
Whoop, Thank you all so much. We love you. We're amazing. You're amazing. We're all right. We're fine. She's amazing. I'm okay. Adios, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great time the rest of the Great Bead Extravaganza. Bye.